What up, YouTube? Making another video on another PC I just got done building. This is a mostly Thermaltake build. It's the Core P3, which is like an open frame chassis. The one I posted a picture of in my last video I built was a P5, which supports like a 480 rad. It's massive. That computer weighed probably 100 pounds. And it was just, for me as like a beginner, water cooler was really easy to build in, so I decided with this build to kind of repeat the process, just a little bit smaller so it actually fit on my desk. You can kind of see up there on the wall, I actually had the other one wall mounted. Anyways, this is running the Thermaltake like full water cooling kit. So as you can see, it's got the Thermaltake, I think it's like a C1 or W1 water block. Right now I'm running Intel, so I'm running the i9 9900K. I got it on Newegg for 320 bucks on like Cyber Monday. Motherboard, we are running the Asus Maximus 11 Black Ops 4 limited edition. Sorry, we got a glare here, but as you can see, it's got the skull and then the Black Ops logo down there. 9900K, so we are running the Thermaltake fittings, but we do have some bits power 90s. I could not get this run right here. I could do this every single time, this 90, but getting this 90 to bend up to align perfectly with this, I probably went through like 6 or 8 feet of PETG to get it done, and I couldn't, so I just chopped it, put in a bits power 90, put a run up, and straight back in. Probably not the most aesthetic, but it's functional, and like I said, it doesn't really drive me too crazy. Same, so this 90 right here I probably could have got, but I was using the 500mm sticks, and when I tried to do it, it wasn't long enough to reach all the way down to the bottom. You can kind of see it's real close to the glass. There is just a smidge of headroom there, which is pretty much exactly how I wanted it. Same here between the fans and the pump res. There is clearance, it's not actually touching. The only concern I had was this comes with a 240 aluminum radiator, so I was like, okay, the water block and everything's copper, but it's nickel plated, and I guess after doing some research and on a water-cooled PC forum on Facebook, talking to some people, pretty much informed me that they've been running the kit for a long time, never had any issues because it's not fully exposed copper, it's nickel plated, so that I guess prevents the galvanic corrosion that I was getting freaked out about. So I am running the horrifying Thermaltake coolant. However, I am only running a small amount and the rest is distilled water with I think it's an alpha cool additive. So we'll see how this holds up. The others, I think it's C1000 or something, and I've heard some pretty horror stories about it gelling up and causing all sorts of issues and destroying blocks and pumps and all sorts of stuff. So I'm only running a small amount in here. It's 98% water, with just like a splash of the like I said, the Thermaltake coolant to give it the red color, which is kind of the theme I'm going for here with the red and black. Graphics card, nothing fancy. It's just kind of a placeholder. As everyone knows, graphics cards are impossible to find right now. So it is a GTX 1660 Ti, which, you know, isn't the best on paper, but honestly, for what I play, I pretty much play everything I want, you know, at 144 plus FPS, you know, on the settings that I play on, like, you know, Fortnite. And I got Godfall with the purchase of my 5600 XT. I've been playing that, and honestly, it's not really, you know, affecting my gaming performance. So I know it's not a 3090 and a 6900 XT, but, you know, that's really for, you know, 4K, like, you know, all that stuff, and I'm an average gamer. So we have a Cooler Master MWE 750 watt gold rated power supply. I've had it for a while, I've never had a problem with it. People were blowing me up on the forum saying that they're garbage, and I mean, until it goes, like, if it goes, you know, I won't replace it. You know, I mean, I've had platinum expensive power supplies break for no reason, and I have, you know, old EVGA 450 watts that I've had for 5 years that I use for just diagnosing and, you know, temporary placeholders, and I've never had a problem with. So hopefully my unit's fine so far, you know, knock on wood. It'll be all right, but pretty simple build. I do have a Noctua fan in the back here. I just have it zip tied. I do run my 9900K on 5 gigahertz all cores, and I do want some airflow moving over like my motherboard, my VRMs. You know, it doesn't hurt, you know, to have that. And there's no place to mount a fan, so I just put some thin little zip ties here, and it does do a good job. You know, it's a Noctua. Guess I don't see the exact model number right here, but it is an airflow optimized fan. It does, I mean, I can feel the air all the way over here. It's very silent. The whole computer is very, very quiet. I don't really hear it running. My fans don't really ramp up. So the 9900K on all cores, I'm seeing temps. So when I render these videos, which I'm filming in 4K with a GoPro, 84 degrees Celsius is like about the package temp, like max temp I've seen. Gaming, low 60s. So it's a big improvement for me over my H100i, which is what I had it on before. And I was hitting 90, 91C, and that was with the all-white H150i RGB, the one that comes with the RL120 fans. So it's doing a nice job. I do have room to fit a 360 rad. I don't know if I'm going to, because I'd have to move the pump forward, and by looking at this fitting, I don't really have room to move the pump forward, because right here the pump kind of bumps out. So like right here, it's like right next to the res, and I have just a smidge of clearance there, but down here this pump really opens up, and I don't know I'll be able to get, you know, a thick rad and some fans down there unless I went with a regular size radiator, or like a slim fan at the bottom. I don't even know if that would work. But so far it's doing its job. It's very quiet. It doesn't overheat. It doesn't, you know, declock itself. I mean, when I'm gaming or rendering, it stays locked at 5 gigahertz on all cores. Does not drop down, so I'm not having any issues. For RAM, it's white, which I thought was going to be a real eyesore in this build, but behind the like tinted glass and stuff like that, you can't really tell, and with the red RGB you can't really tell that the RAM is white. I was really kind of going for black and red, but the last PC was, you know, a white build, so I was going to get new RAM, but after, you know, leaving it in there as it is, it doesn't really bother me. So it's 16 gigs, it's 3200 Corsair Vengeance Pro RGB. I have some Thermaltake red sleeved 24 pin in my GPU 8 pin. For drives, it's got a WD Black 512 gig NVMe that I got on Black Friday at Best Buy. I just did like an order pickup and picked it up a couple days later when people were done flooding into Best Buy, and it's got a 1 terabyte Crucial just SATA SSD in the back. So it's got a 1.5 terabyte of NVMe. It's got the 9900K at 5 gigahertz all cores, and so far it's been running real solid.